We were running through the town's very last entrance gate when we heard a blood-curdling scream from behind us. It was T. As I turned to see what had happened, T was on the ground, withering in pain. At the same time, she almost seemed fainted, holding her face with both hands, almost clawing at it. Colt looked at me, then jumped off his horse. The lion cub was smelling her as Colt grabbed her quickly. He sat her up quickly, then pulled her over his shoulder, nearly slamming her onto his horse's back in a lying position, face down, jumping on behind her. "Mac, let's go." We ran our horses hard and long. The lion cub kept up easily. It seemed like hours until we hit a new tree line, so thick with trees it was hard to manage the horses. We had no choice but to slow to a trot. By now, the horses were covered in foam, all except Mac, of course. T was moaning to some degree. "We can't stop yet, but when we do, I'll take a look. You doing all right, T?" Colt patted T's back slightly. The moaning somewhat stopped. "T? Who's T?" she said tiredly. Colt and I looked at one another. What had happened to her? We traveled another few hours until we came to a rooted clearing. Green from the forest floor to the forest's top, a stream was trickling through. "Let's rest the horses." Colt jumped down, helping T down in almost a slither. She fell to her feet, then to the ground, putting her hands back to her face. But Colt bent down. "Now then, I can't help you if I can't see." T slowly allowed him to remove her hands. Colt somewhat cocked his head one way, then the next, touching her face with his thumb. "Does it hurt?" T looked up. I still couldn't see, so I jumped down as well to see. What I saw was beautiful and awful all at the same time. Just like the deer tribe, she had new markings on her face that were glowing brightly. But unlike the others we had seen, each stripe crossing her face was a different color. "How peculiar," Colt said with fascination, looking over her. "Listen, these wounds already seem to be healed. If anything, you're going to be sore from the way we had to carry you on Mac's back, but I think you will be all right. We know others with similarities. We can take you to them when we are headed home." I looked down at her. "Do you remember who you are now?" "No," she whispered. "That's the case, I believe, from what I've heard from the deer tribe. Listen, your name is T. A lot has happened that is very bad. But we won't go into all that. We will keep you as safe as we can, all right?" T nodded slightly, holding her legs. Colt took his jacket off, placing it over her shoulders. "It will be all right." We stood off with her still in sight range, the lion cub between our feet, looking up at us, swishing its tail. "What is that thing still following us for? They could be tracking us by it." "I need to have a word with Mac," Colt said in an aggravated whisper. I slightly shrugged. "It just seems to like me. I don't know why. When I was hiding, it didn't turn me in, so I don't think it's bad. I'm right here, you know." The cub growled, then slightly whimpered like a child. "I thought you liked me, Vita." "How do you know my name?" "It's me." Colt looked to it. "Me who?" "I'm Sam, and I won't tell them where you're at. Those people there, they hurt me. It hurt really bad, and when I woke up, my mom was gone. I couldn't find her anywhere. I want my mom." I bent down. "It's okay, Sam, it's okay. I'm sure you can find your mom if you just go back to the town. They put me in the zoo, said that was my new home, but I got out of there and I looked for her. But then I found you. I don't want to go back. They will hurt me again." Mac was now by us, smelling the cub. "He's right, Colt. The same was done to me. Humans can never understand the type of pain we have gone through. I can tell you now there's no tracker in the kid. My mechanics would have picked up on it." Colt let out a breath, looking at the cub for a long moment. "How old are you?" "I'm 8. I'm small for my age, though," Colt continued. "And what was wrong with you to end up like this?" And the cub, Sam, looked down. "I really don't know. As far back as I can remember, I was sick, real sick all the time. But now I feel great." Mac nudged Colt slightly. "Let me talk to you a minute privately." Colt nodded and walked over with Mac to the edge of the trees as I stayed and talked more with Sam. "Vita, don't like that woman over there." "Shh, Sam. Why?" Sam snorted. "She's bad. She's one of them." "Did she hurt you?" "No, but I don't like her. She smells bad." "All right, well, right now we have to stay together, okay? So we just need to get along for now, okay?" "Okay," I patted his head. "Well, let's go check the horses together, okay?" As for Colt and Mac, "Colt, I know you're not a fan of my kind, mostly because I feel the same about myself, but what I do know is the years I lived on the meadow have been the best, peaceful time of my life." But I also know and remember the pain I was put through to get to this point. This cub, this kid, he's already felt so much pain. If he goes back, there is no place for him. They will continue test after test on him. What are you trying to get out, Mac? I'm saying we can't leave him or send him back. If you don't or can't care for the kid, I will. Colt folded his arms. The kid, if he can still be called a kid, needs his mom. It's not right to take him from her. Mac snorted and began to whisper lower. I'm trying to tell you he already has his mother. I'm not following, Mac. I scanned his files deep within and found a female file name, a consciousness that is in a dormant mode, but in the coding her name and status were given. Julia, mother. So they killed her too, then? Yes. And there's no way for her to be alive still? No, I don't believe so. Colt let out a breath, rubbing his hair, then his beard. I appreciate the offer, Mac, but I think I'll watch over this kid for now. Tell me, is he like you with animal mannerisms or just human? No offense, I just need to know how to talk to it. He is, as am I. He is young, so his brain will be more accepting of the new feelings. But he is different in some ways as well. And what's that? Mac looked over to the cub. He is a prototype, and from what I can gather, he can grow and mature over time, or at least that is what is coded in his files. So he can grow bigger? How is that even possible? Max snorted. He must have folds of metal that can extend over time when programmed to do so, would be my guess. I'm not sure his outer shell will be able to grow with him, so new skins may be needed over time if he lives that long. We do not always have the longest lifespans. All right, well, stay with the horses tonight. Keep them calm and quiet. If you hear anything, you know what to do. I shall, but I do not believe they are following us or tracking us. Why is that? These people have no place in an open world. They are closed off to their city. I have a distinct feeling they will wait for us to return under our own will. All right, good talk. They walked over to us, Mac talking to the horses in his own way. The cub standing next to me. Everything okay? I ask. Yeah, Colt looked down. Hey kid, why don't you stay with us for a while, all right? Okay, Sam said excitedly. But you have to listen, okay? This isn't a game or time for fun. It's dangerous out here. You're old enough to know that. Sam nodded and rubbed up against Colt's leg as Colt looked to me. Are you okay? A lot has happened today. I'm okay. There's no time to think otherwise. What should we do next? Colt looked firm into my eyes. I was thinking about sending you home with the others while I continue on. No, we go together, I said firmly back. I figured you would say that, but I want to send T back. She can't get there on a regular horse, so I will have to send her with Mac, and hopefully they make it all right. The kid should stay with us. Why can't T come with us? I asked. Because, love, her place is not here. It's in the deer tribe's lands for one, and two, she doesn't remember much. I'm worried about what could be causing her to be this way. The others have but one color each, she has many. The deer tribe will be of best help to her, and she will inevitably slow us down. You're right. She would have a better chance if you went with her, you know. Mac has it handled, I'm sure. I'm not leaving you. Colt took my shoulders, then wrapped me in a tight hug, letting out such a deep sigh I knew he had some he was saying in it, then leaned back to look me over, then kissed my dry lips. Yuck, Sam blurted out, sticking out his long tongue, shaking his head. I couldn't help but smile slightly. We all went back over to T, who was sitting quietly. You feeling better? Yes, thank you. Colt stood above her. Tomorrow, I want you to leave with Mac. I know you're not used to riding, but he will be slow. Where he will take you, you will have to learn riding to get along there. But more importantly, they will be able to help you more than us. All right, she said in a low whisper. Sam was staying behind my legs the whole time, finally letting out a long yawn. Colt took in another calming deep breath. Well then, let's all get some sleep. T went to a small patch of moss, curling and tucking as small as she could get. Colt went over and covered her with his jacket. Colt walked over to the log, laying his back up against it as he looked over to me. I walked over, sitting beside him, laying my head on his shoulder. The cub Sam was sitting to himself. Colt looked to him. Hey, kid. Come on. Sam seemed to light up as he rushed over, laying himself on my lap. He was extremely heavy, but I thought it must be from the metal structure. I patted him a few times and he shut off for the night. That night, no one bothered us, with Mac diligently on guard duty. The morning came and we were all somewhat stiff, but the sleep was deep, which was good at the very least. Colt made sure T had enough water and supplies, some being held by Rose, helping her onto Mac's back. Now you listen here carefully. This is my horse. He doesn't obey anyone but me. He will take you to where you need to be, so don't try to change his direction. It won't work. You're going to have to rest, so he will stop before nightfall in a safe place here and there. You're going to have to get on him yourself. If you can't manage to pull yourself up, he will find a rock or log to help you. Drink and eat lightly. There's enough here, but not if there are delays. T just nodded. Now then, point your toes up and hold the reins like this. Colt rearranged her hands to the reins. All right, Mac, get going. Colt slightly tapped his rump and Mac started off. Why did you choose Rose to be her pack horse? Old Drum is slow, but it's not like they are really going to be moving fast. Colt whispered to me. Because Rose won't let her ride her. I don't follow? T hasn't earned my trust. If something happens with Mac, I don't want her to get back anywhere quickly. I thought back. The one thing I knew about T is she was very good at acting, but was it really for our benefit? Smart thinking.